Hey guys, how's it going? Today is a cold one. Last night was really cold. Luckily, I'm inside a vehicle, so that helps with that wind chill, not completely chill me to the bone, right? Like, whew. Yeah, that wind was blowing hard last night and it was so cold. So I figured today is the perfect opportunity for me to share my top recommendation for staying warm during the winter. Because even though technically winter isn't here yet, it's here. It's cold. It's cold. So, if I could suggest one item for you guys, my top item would have to be a sleeping bag, y'all. A sleeping bag. See that? A sleeping bag makes a world of difference. So when I was doing the car life, I did not have a sleeping bag. I just had blankets. And they were okay. But once I transitioned from a ton of blankets to one sleeping bag, that made the whole difference. So I lived in the car for a little bit, but the car that I had was a hybrid. So even though I didn't leave the ignition on and have that heater going, I had that option if it got super cold to the point where my blankets would not keep me warm. I could always turn my Prius on and let that heat just kind of warm up the vehicle and be pretty comfortable. So fast forward to now, I have a Toyota Sienna, no hybrid engine. So I don't have the luxury of turning on my vehicle and keeping it as cold or as warm as I would like it to be. I ended up purchasing a sleeping bag, and then I put my blankets inside my sleeping bag, and it is so toasty. There are nights that I even have to unzip and uncover because it is so warm. Even if you are not doing the car life, the van life, RV life, anything like that, to have at least one sleeping bag per person, because if the power ever went out or you did not have a way to heat your house, your apartment, whatever, a sleeping bag will keep you alive. Of course, also, if you have a hat, a beanie cap, a hat, and gloves, layered, will keep you alive along with a sleeping bag. And what I typically do at night is I have a beanie cap that I put on, and it keeps my head warm, and I can pull it down to cover my eyes and cover part of my nose to keep this part warm, because my nose gets cold, my hands get cold, my feet get cold, my extremities super cold. I just cannot sleep very comfortable, if at all. I don't need to have gloves on. I don't need to have socks on. I don't really even need to have that many clothes on, to be honest. Once I'm inside my sleeping bag, to just have a beanie cap and a sleeping bag, that alone will keep me warm at night. Now, during the day is a different story. When I'm out and about and I'm in and out of the vehicle and having that cold to somewhat warm inside the vehicle and then go back out to the elements, it can make me sick real quick if I don't have layers, if I don't have a beanie cap, if I'm not prepared, chill you to the bone, and you will get sick. And that has happened to me a couple of times throughout my adult life, going in and out of between cold and hot and cold and hot. You can get sick real quick. So of course, definitely have your layering, your gear, appropriate clothing, but for sleeping and surviving and keeping your sanity at night, being able to sleep comfortable, my top recommendation for you guys is a sleeping bag. It is a super warm. I think this one wasn't even that expensive. It was, I want to say 20 something, 30 something dollars from Walmart. And it only goes down to about like 30 degrees, rated at 30 degrees or however you call that. But I also have blankets inside there. So I think it takes it up a notch. But then after a while, I ended up purchasing a second sleeping bag. So now I have two sleeping bags. So this dark one that's almost like a black color. This one here. And you guys have seen this sleeping bag, which I used to have foam toppers inside there, and it was in addition to my trifold bed. But since I'm not using that, I'm using the Japanese futon mattress that you see, that gray right there. I went ahead and took out the foam toppers that were in here, and I'm keeping this in my van because it is getting cold. So if it happens to be that I am still cold with my sleeping bag system, which is rare, but if I do, I can put one sleeping bag inside the other sleeping bag and all my blankets in here and layer up, be warm. I will be extremely toasty in this van. Those of you that know how awesome a sleeping bag is know exactly what I'm talking about. But those of you that have never had a sleeping bag and never used a sleeping bag, trust and believe that it will save your life. It sure will. There's a reason why people have sleeping bags that do extreme sports or out camping in winter. They have a sleeping bag. It's for a reason, guys. Because they work, and it doesn't even have to be that expensive, because most of us won't be sleeping in Antarctica, right? But if you combine them one inside another, plus the blankets along with my beanie cap, I think I will be sweating, actually. So I have not had the necessity to put one sleeping bag inside the other, but I do have two sleeping bags that are very fluffy. They are very comfortable. If I ever had the need, I will double up, but being a prepper, 2 is 1, 1 is none. Y'all know the deal. And for emergencies, guys, even just like your cold weather kit, a cold weather bag, anything like that, for winter especially, make sure to have at least one sleeping bag per person. And yeah, if you can have 2 sleeping bags, it would make a world of difference, because, you know, we won't be by ourselves 24/7, 365. There's always people out there that may need your help. And if you just happen to have an extra sleeping bag, that could save their life too. It doesn't even have to be expensive, y'all. You can go to a thrift store, you can go to yard sales, you can go to like online apps, marketplace, and you know, what have you. People just like to give stuff away too. Their old stuff, they upgrade, and they have just excess. Where there's a will, there's a way. Oh, it could be from a few dollars to hundreds of dollars, depending on what you decide to purchase, if it's new, if it's used, the material, etc., etc. Just like with anything else, right? I suggest buying the best quality that you can afford. But I mean, mine were like 20 something, 30 something dollars, and they have kept me toasty. So that is my number 1 recommendation. If you have nothing else and you have the option to purchase one item, sleeping bag. You can also have this on your Christmas wish list. One sleeping bag, and keep it in your vehicle for an emergency. And for toasty sleeping, if you are doing the car life, the van life, the RV life, this is a game changer for sure. So I thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a blessed week. And stay warm, guys, because winter is here. Bye, y'all. Thanks so much for watching Dia's Frugal Life. I'm Dia, and if you enjoy the content, make sure to subscribe for more future videos. Hit that thumbs up, put a comment on there, all that good stuff. You can also join the channel and become part of our coffee club. Thanks for all your love and support. Bye, guys.